Hello everybody, Luke back once again. This time to be breaking down everything we know about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, or as Nintendo calls it, Breath of the Wild sequel. Now Zelda is one of Nintendo's most popular gaming franchise, and it's getting a brand new main game with a sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Fans of the first game have waited for over 4 years now for the story to continue, but you won't have to wait too much longer as Nintendo has confirmed the game is in development. And we are going to be breaking down in this video everything we know about it, including confirmed details, what we learned from the trailer, and some credible rumors that are out there. We'll let you decide which you believe and which you don't believe. First though, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. We're really trying to grow this brand new gaming channel. In just a few months, we hit over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. You let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here every time you hit that like button and that subscribe button. On our way to our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we help you learn something new. All right, let's dive into it. Everything we know about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Now the first thing we have to get out of the way is the name. I cannot guarantee that will actually be the name or even the sequel part. It actually most likely is not. Nintendo just has been using this as a placeholder to let you know it's coming, which makes you wonder what in the name of the game, or maybe they haven't decided, but there's probably something in the name of the game they haven't decided to reveal yet. But look for Nintendo to reveal a new name. I would expect by the end of this year. We'll see what happens with that. But it's very clear that Nintendo views Breath of the Wild sequel as just a placeholder for the Legend of Zelda game. We'll see how it plays out. What we do know, though, is that this will be no simple expansion in the original game. They are talking about a massive expansion on the story and on the size of the world, which is pretty impressive considering Breath of the Wild was already the largest Zelda game ever made. We'll have to see how that plays out, but one of the things they have confirmed that there will be a lot more floating islands over Hyrule than there were in the first game. Something that really added a lot of depth to the game is coming back in a bigger and better way. Also, Mal's will be making a big return in the game. We'll see how that all plays out. But past that, details are very thin. Now, breaking down the trailer does give you a lot of information, including stuff that's led many to believe that Zelda will be a bigger role in this game and could even be the main character. And you would spend more time playing as Zelda than you may play as Link, which, considering the games are all named after Zelda, is kind of a cool feature. Something that, why didn't this happen earlier? I know there were the horrible 3DO games that where you played as Zelda, but we're not going to count those. I don't even think Nintendo really likes to acknowledge those games exist with their partnership with 3DO's platform there. But it does look like Zelda will have a much bigger part in the game, and we'll have to keep a close eye on this. I'm actually excited about that. We'll see how it plays out. The other thing that I think is a little less credible, but has been getting a lot of steam online, is the fact that there may be two Links. Now, we've had games like this. We've had an old Link and a young Link. Now, the question here is, with Part 2, the possibility of time travel back earlier into the story of Breath of the Wild, which makes you wonder, would a older Link and Zelda who have completed Breath of the Wild go back earlier into the story of Breath of the Wild, meet up with themselves or meet up with Link and more, and then have to play forward? That's been a theory that's been gaining a lot of traction, which does lead to the theory that there could be two Links. Now, in the trailer, very little is seen of Link's face in it, but you clearly see that there are two different outfits on Link. Not a huge thing. Link does have often different outfits in different games, going always back to the original Zelda game on the Nintendo NES. So it's possible we're just seeing different points in the game in the trailer, but it's also possible that the rumors of a time travel are true, that you go back in time and both Links must work together with Zelda. I actually think that could be a really cool storyline, and you've probably seen this a little bit with the new Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? We're going back, we're retelling the story, but to do it better this time, it was a big theme towards the end of the first Final Fantasy VII game. Now, are we going to be doing that here? Are we going to retell the story of Breath of the Wild, but with an effort to have a better ending this time than you had the first time, because you have the help of the older Zelda and the older Link here to help you? Or do you play with them and try to help your younger self? I find that fascinating. I enjoy that. I actually kind of hope that that is a big part of the game. Unfortunately, we're going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. Fingers crossed it turns into something, but we'll have to wait. Now, according to Nintendo, the release date is targeted at 2022 window, but little is known past that. It's a pretty big window with so little known about the game and the name not even being officially announced. That tells me it's probably later on. A lot of Zelda games, or at least Breath of the Wild, I should say, it did come out early in their release year, as Nintendo often tries to avoid the big Goliaths that come out later in the fall game release, like the Call of Duties and more. It wouldn't surprise me if they're aiming for a first half 2022, but with the game development, with 2020 clearly delaying a lot of games, it would not surprise me to find out it goes later on. There's also a lot of rumors that this will be coming to the Nintendo Pro. Now, if you haven't seen my video, I'll put a link to it, but the Nintendo Pro is a upgraded version of the Nintendo Switch. So the full name Nintendo Switch Pro, just to be clear there, will allow you to have a little bit more power, 4K support, and more on the Nintendo Switch. Will that be a reality? I don't know. There's been a lot of confusion about backward supportability and more with it. But it would make sense that if they're releasing a Nintendo Switch Pro with 4K support on it and better battery life and more, that they would want a big name game that would take advantage of that 4K support when it's released. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 could be an excellent candidate for 4K support there. Even though it's more of an artsy style, I do think they could definitely take advantage of that upgraded display and for TVs, with most Americans now owning a 4K TV, with them becoming pretty much the standard nowadays. It's very hard to find a TV over 32 inches that's not 4K right now. I think that would be a big part of the future of Nintendo gaming. We'll see. I don't know. Fingers crossed we'll get some more details on this in the future, but I would not be surprised at all if the Nintendo Switch Pro and Breath of the Wild 2 are linked together as kind of a bundle deal, right? You can get these games together or they're sold separate, but the Breath of the Wild 2 is really trying to push the Nintendo Switch 4K for people who want to see the beautiful world of Zelda's Hyrule in beautiful 4K. That's a theory. It's one that I actually think has a lot of credibility. It's very Nintendo-esque to release a new system, or in this case, an update to a system, with a big Mario or Zelda game to kind of push the sales of it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think that's a good, realistic possibility? I think it is. We'll see what happens. But that's everything I know. Do you plan to buy this game? Are you a big fan of it? I absolutely love Zelda. I will be honest. I've been so busy with work. I'm kind of behind on some of the recent re-releases. Link's Awakening. I actually really want to get that game. I loved it on the Nintendo Game Boy when it came out. I want the upgrade version. I think I'm going to try to pick that up and finish it once the summer is over. Let me know what you think is the best Zelda game, if you plan to get this. And if you like our channel, you like what we do here, help us out. Hit that subscribe button, or at least hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And with that, we'll be back with another video real soon. Thanks for your support.